This is Tarron with Twisted Mesquite Performance Horses. We are on a mission to create a world-class 2-year-old program that specializes in the rein cow horse. Today we are doing a review with Copper. We're going to go over the 4 steps that we used to advance him this week. We're going to go over 2 of those last steps in detail, as in the last video, we were working on the first 2 steps. So first off, as I said, we want to make sure that this horse will flex and keep his feet still. We got his teeth done on Friday, so we gave him a couple days off. He had a couple things that the dentist worked on, and I think it'll help his appetite. So this upcoming week we'll put him in a snaffle, and I do think that'll help our flexing on either side, where they don't get bound up right there. But so last week we showed our one rein stops and our cruising. So our one rein stops, where we take our feet off of him, wait till he stops his feet, gets soft, and flex them both sides, then we go again. And our cruising exercise, where we just put him on a loose rein and cruised him around this arena here at a walk and a trot, and just let him freely move around. And this week we're going to focus on our following the fence at first. He's watching that plastic bag that sits outside of his pen, so I don't know what he's concerned about. He lives right next to it. Anyway, so following the fence, I want to basically where we put him on a loose rein, we want him to be pretty close to this fence line. If he veers off, if he gets past a certain point and veering off towards the middle, I want to direct him back to this fence line. And when he's on this fence line, I want to leave him alone. I don't want to be steering him. I want to take him back to this fence line and let him sit right here. I want him to ride up into these corners, and be able to travel all the way around this arena. We have our camera set up here in the corner, and so I'll turn around and go back. So we'll essentially work 3 corners of this arena. So I want to be able to do it fence line, right up the fence line, going both directions at the walk and trot at this stage. If he goes to speed up or get off the side of the fence line, do a one rein stop. I didn't like how he fought it a little bit right there. Said we'll put him in a snaffle this next week, and we'll be able to, there'll be a quicker connection for him, and so we'll be able to refine our direction with him when we get him in that snaffle. Next week which it'll be starting tomorrow, to advance this exercise, we're going to be doing it at a walk and a trot, and then add the lope to it. So we'll lope around here following this fence just on a loose rein, put him in a snaffle, which will help our direction, make our one rein stop a lot crisper, a lot more refined. She does good in this hackamore because it's progression from what he learned in the halter. But that snaffle just helps out a whole lot with this connection on these young horses. Anyway, so like I said, to advance this, we'll do this exercise at a walk, trot, and a canter. We'll make sure he's good and comfortable loping around these corners and loping into these corners. Now the next exercise we're going to work on is our diagonals exercise. This is basically starting to put some steering on this horse. We steered him a little bit just to keep him off of our flag over here. We steered him a little bit, taking him back to the fence when we'd go on our follow the fence exercise. But now with this exercise here, we're going to lope around. When we're working on it next week, probably going to put my spurs on too. He's getting where he's pretty quiet. I need him to pay attention to what I'm needing him to do. So this diagonal exercise it adds going across the middle of this pin, and it makes sure that we go deep into these corners. So I want to be able to take him to this corner, guiding him down a straight line. If he veers off one way or the other, I'm going to take him back to that straight line. I want to go deep into this corner. Now, after today, we'll take this flag down where we can come all the way into this corner. And we can work all four corners of this arena. And he can keep his feet moving. So we're going to pretend this post over here is the corner. Stay out of the way of the camera. But we take him the same way. Just doing the same thing going this way. If he veers off this straight line, I'll take him back to it. Doesn't want to come up here this corner, so I'll let him sit right here a second. And we'll go again. As I said, to advance this exercise here, we're going to do this in all four corners at a lope, and we're also going to rest him in any corner he just really doesn't like the most. So, and then we'll also, we'll keep working this pattern until he's comfortable coming up to the fence line all the way around this arena. And he travels straight line and all four corners. This is just going to really help increase his awareness of our legs being on him, meaning keep going forward. It's going to help our steering, and it's going to get him paying attention to us a lot more. I want to drive him right up here to this corner here. Let him rest here a second. Overall this week he's done well. And we got his teeth done. Found a few things in there that needed to be worked on. I think it'll help his appetite a little better. We'll be able to advance him into the snaffle going forward next week. And then, like I said, we'll be able to work this arena out of lope, get him to cover country, listen to us a lot better, and we'll be able to just progress him going forward with some other exercises we have for him. As I said, we used 4 exercises to advance him this week. We covered 2 more in depth, and overall I think he's done really well this week. So we'll catch with you on the next one.